Welcome to Seekers of Sarmanath, everybody. It is session 11, and we are all here, except for Tom. But we have the important ones here today. How are y'all doing? It's been about a week. Faye, you've been gone for like 2 weeks, out vacationing. How does that go?
Yeah, amazing. I went to Crete, learned a little bit about Minotaurs. It was pretty great. And then I was at TwitchCon EU, which was really cool.
Cloud Gormac was watching.
I'm so jealous.
Oh, that was on first things first. On Crete, we were at Knossos at the big old palace, like the old ruins, and they had this one large, like fresco, like wall painting, which is a giant what are they called? With a giant bull, right? Like a giant bull fighting scene. It was all painted in red. It was marvelous. It was Gormac would have loved that one. It was very good.
Did you
really nice.
Analyze it by writing Gormac was here? Or
Oh no!
Never. No. Oh god, no chance. So that was, it was really nice.
It'd be fun. I'll bail you out.
What are you asking, Millman? You like... I
don't know why my microphone isn't accepted by Zoom, but I said I'll bail her out if she tags it Gormac.
Oh,
I
okay.
appreciate it.
Right? I'll send Korean James Bond and Jackie Chan to exfil her.
The master seducer.
For those who don't have the context and don't watch my stream, I recently played Sigma Theory, and Korean Jackie Chan and James Bond are the two best players that were on my team, and they could exfil anybody and seduce anybody. So I could totally get her out of there.
Nice.
Also,
Very
I'm
good.
totally jelly about going to TwitchCon. I've always wanted to go, but it's in America, and we all know when I go to America, nothing goes to plan. I literally spent 2 weeks just drawing dicks in snow. Like,
I think the American one is actually closer to you than the European one. Like this was the first European one. It was in Berlin. I think that takes you longer, right?
Believe it or not, I think it takes the same amount of time for me to get to Europe than it does to America.
Depends on where. I'm not sure how long it takes. San Diego, I think, is TwitchCon at the moment.
It still takes me 24 hours to get there.
Well, rip.
Is that just because you crossed the date line? Like,
I lose a day when I go to the States. It's kind of actually, I gain a day, sorry. It's amazing. I'm like, wow, I left today and I got here today. Right?
but it takes 2 days to fly home, right?
Exactly. I got home and I was like, damn it, I lost a day. What the fuck happened? And they're like, you were on a plane. Good job.
I need to travel across the date line just so I can claim to be a time traveler.
Yeah.
I am. And I'm sorry, it's not as all it's cracked up to be.
Man, if I was you, every time I met someone in the bar, I'd be like, hi, I'm a time traveler.
I'm a time traveler. You also feel like a time traveler, though. It doesn't feel good. Jet lag is no bueno.
Hey, I'm Millman, time traveler.
Yeah.
Exactly. Boom.
You know, Millman, I realized the other day, I have absolutely no idea what your first name is. I assume Millman is your last name.
Wrong, but I'll tell you afterwards. I can't tell you on stream because
it's a trade secret.
Why? It's not a trade secret. It's just people found my Facebook and were like harassing my family.
Oh my god!
Mobs of adoring female fans just throwing themselves at you.
I wish. It was all like seedy, salty nerds from League of Legends, just like,
oh my god,
I love your family members. And I was like, come on, dudes. Like we all got family.
Yeah.
Chill.
You mean
Chill.
what you mean, Millman, is I love your family members, right? Because they're all oh my god!
Can we get like an audio clip of that? We can just play
Somebody
it?
should be.
I'm on it.
Yeah, page.
I'm on it.
That and clip of the yawn. Yeah.
I already got the yawn.
Oh, no!
I love your family members is coming right now.
Cass and I had our baby shower and gender reveal party yesterday.
Ooh.
What is it?
For the baby. It's going to be a boy.
Oh man!
Right? So,
how excited are you?
It's going to be a boy. Cass is super excited. She's been saying it's a boy since like December. We found out she was pregnant around Thanksgiving, which for those of you who don't follow U.S. holidays is late November. So it took Cass all of about 2 weeks to decide that it was a boy and refer to it as such. And she got lucky, and it actually is one. So
nice.
Greg was invited. He didn't RSVP.
Oh, Was I?
I think so. Are you still on Facebook?
No, I haven't been on Facebook in years.
Okay, well then you would have been invited if you were on Facebook, because I invited literally every Facebook friend that I have.
Okay. Yeah.
Because like I went to the invite friends thing and I was like, I'm not sorting through this. Everyone's invited.
Everyone's invited.
Yeah. My favorite part was when like my friends that live in other parts of the world are like declining my invitations. Like I've got I'm friends with Dyson Logos on Facebook. He's from Canada. Like I don't think I'm gonna make it.
I'm so sorry. I can't. Maybe
right, exactly.
Child, I tried.
In Florida that are like, Alex won't be there. I'm like, yo, really? That was pretty funny to me.
And
You're doing me on my birthday invite when I was like 21. I was like, fuck it, I'll invite everybody. I got people who are like in the States. I know a couple in Europe.
Yeah.
And they're just like, I'd love to be there, good sir. Maybe next time. And I was like, way too formal.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Yeah, I actually created a post in the event group that said basically, hi, I'm lazy. If it's not really feasible for you to come, or you don't know why I invited you, really, you don't need to be there. It's okay.
Quality disclaimer. I like it.
Yeah. Because I always get like invited to things by friends that I haven't talked to since like high school. They're like, hey, come to my 29th birthday party. And I'm like, I literally haven't talked to you in 10 years. Why did you invite me to this? I feel really awkward declining though, because you invited me. And now I'm like, oh, they probably just hit invite all. That makes more sense. But I always felt really bad. Like, wait, do they actually want me there if they invited me? I feel like a dick for turning it down then.
No, you gotta hit decline and then reason, insert generic excuse. Enter.
Just type all of that out. Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Does fantasy name generators have a party decline generator?
that would be good. That would be amazing.
They have everything else. I'm sure they have that.
Yeah,
too.
they really do.
Isn't Nearest fantasy name generator come out with like crazy names? I feel like they're just a little bit over the top. Like even the human names are like.
Dan. Dan is the one who said the baby would be
On.
What do you mean, Dan? You don't want glandiferol?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Glandiferol.
Are you looking them up right
Sounds
now?
like a
No,
medicine.
I just made that up out of the top of my head.
It just sounds like medicine.
Yeah. Alrighty, y'all. Did you get your
I'm
tire
worried.
situation
Can we
figured
keep
out,
talking
Dan?
for a little bit more?
So many voices going on. I can't. Oh,
Dan, did you get your tire thing
focus
figured
on
out?
one.
I'm sorry, what was that?
You got your tire thing figured out? Are you all set? Like, I was worried
No,
about you.
no. My tire popped yesterday, like right before work.
Oh.
So I like. And unfortunately, because it was Good Friday, the tire company next to me was closed. So I have to go today after the stream.
All right. Well, that sucks. That means no basketball watching for you today.
Yeah, unfortunately, probably gonna have to wait in line while they fix my tire.
I was gonna say you're gonna have to like go to Greg's house and watch there. No.
No, I mean I don't fix tires, so
You
sadly.
really want somebody fixing your tire on 420, Dan? You might just have to wait it out.
Yeah, I think I work tomorrow though. So
Dan's got to work, man. You got to work.
Do you work on Easter Sunday?
yeah, I think so.
That's weird.
As a baker, I can tell you it's not a huge thing to work on Easter Sunday.
Like, I mean, I'm a waiter, right? Like working on
Yeah.
Easter is definitely a thing for me too. I know Greg has like a more professional job, and I thought that
Right?
Dan also would just have Easter off probably. I don't actually know what Dan does though.
I'm working as a server now as well.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well then, yeah, you don't get the day off either. Sorry, buddy.
Yep.
That's why when I got here, I thought I was going to be late, and I had 3 alarms. I was like, oh, because, yeah, I literally worked yesterday. It was like the longest, most hellish shift I've ever had. It's like Easter, and I've made more hot cross than I want to look at for the rest of my natural born life.
They're good though. I like those hot cross buns. They're good.
Granted, I bought some home, and I had them for dinner.
I don't think I've ever
And,
had a traditionally like hot cross bun. Like I've had pastries, I've had bun pastries, but I don't think I could ever say I've had a hot cross bun.
What makes it a hot cross bun?
It
cross.
just has to have a really bad tasting cross on top of a normal spice bun. Quite literally how it's made. They are disgusting, but temptingly disgusting. I ate 4 last night. That was dinner. I was like, normal hot crust, that's dinner. We'll cross that one off. And then I'll have chocolate hot crust for dessert. Boom.
God.
Alrighty. Well, was that enough talking for you, Faye?
Oh man.
Now we're gonna have to dive into
this. Okay.
So, let's get ourselves working on.
I'm not even at roll 20. That's how motivated I am. Just scared.
So, last session, you guys all, after having defeated the ghasts in the swamp, decided to take some time to yourselves and rest for the night. In the night, you heard some strange sounds, this rhythmic breaking and crunching in the night, but chose not to investigate it as it didn't seem to be getting any closer to you during the night. After spending some time the next morning investigating the sounds you heard, you came across the remnants of the gas, dismembered with their chest cavities ripped open and cleaned out very medically. After some investigating of the watery hole from which they came from, and finding your light sources swallowed up at the bottom of the water, decided, this thing doesn't seem to be after us at the moment, let's ignore it, and continued on, searching with your compass for the altar. It led you in a winding fashion back and forth through the swamp, eventually to a clearing, where on a raised bit of mud and stone you found a ring of statues and an unusual altar made of some kind of almost crystalline rock, very foreign to the area here. Upon investigating it, you found the body of a beggar with the eyes of the beast replacing his own eyes on the altar, the ground around you crumbling and disfigured. Upon interacting with the upon interacting with the altar, the statue came to life and attempted to make some kind of strange ritual with the body, but you collectively destroyed the statue before the ritual could be completed, and in so doing opened up a strange shrine beneath the altar, underneath the crumbling stone of the swamp. Sambar picked around, taking up fruit and eating it, lining his pockets with silver coins. Each time the basins in the shrine would disappear, their contents turning into some kind of negative effect. But Sambar's constitution proved too strong for any of these effects. As Gorik prepared the body for rest, he noticed that the effects were also taking part on this body as well. But Tom had decided enough was enough, created a flaming sphere, and began to wreck the shrine beneath the altar, destroying all of the evidence of the Silver Lord that he could, watching the murals disappear as he did so, passing his own save as the curses tried to afflict him as well, until finally ramming the sphere into the door of the Silver Lord, hearing a ringing echo of a knock ring out through the swamp. Doing this 3 times, the door opened and a silver light spilled out, enveloping all of the party members. You 4 were grabbed and drawn forcibly in through the door by the silver light. Tom, however, was able to resist. And now the 4 of you find yourselves on the other side of this door. You see a strange land before you. I'm going to move you over onto roll 20 here. This page is kind of an idea of what this weird kind of land looks like. Everything shines, is crystalline, but still has that natural grasses and woods underneath it. It's bright and colorful, and the trees are jade, the bark's more silvery than this blue here in the picture. Everything is natural and quiet. It looks like a forested area. It looks like it should be singing with birds and the normal natures of grassland. And you do hear an animal cry every now and again, but for the most part, you hear just kind of a ethereal silence wafting over this plain. Behind you, from this kind of forested landscape, you see a mural, much like the one that you saw underneath the altar. The mural is blank, with everything except this Lord in Silver reaching out his hand, this time empty, and out towards the blank murals. In front of each kind of square of this mural, you see basins, copper basins, empty and unfilled, as if they are kind of offering sites to the Silver Lord. And you find yourself here in the middle of this kind of forested area, and the altar to the Silver Lord behind you, in this foreign and unusual land.
And you said all the basins are empty.
Yes. Yes.
And you said the murals are the murals are empty and the basins are empty.
Yes.
Can I go up and inspect the basins to see if there's any writings on them or any markings?
Sure. You inspect the copper basins themselves. They are large. Like they would require 2 hands to carry. Empty, made entirely of what appears to be bronze, but like everything else in this area, it's slightly different than what you expect. It's metallic, but it has a different consistency, a different feel to it than you would expect, although it has that coloration of bronze to it. The basins themselves are decorated, I guess. They are inlaid with a kind of spiral pattern around the outside of it, but there are no discernible words marking the basins themselves.
You see Samba like look around and he just just quickly double checks and then he just like trots himself over and looks in the bowl. And he's like, "Ooh, another bowl. I'm just gonna help myself."
You reach your hand into the bowl and there's nothing in it. It's just the bowl itself, right? Unless, are you trying to take the basin?
No.
Okay.
I know better than that. There's no one attending the bowl. Let's deal.
Is there a door on this side too, or just the mural here?
You look at it, and if you were to remember back to the mural that you saw underneath the altar, in the center where the Silver Lord is painted, it would appear that this would be the same spot in the mural if it were the same one that the door was, but it does not appear to have that archway in it at the moment that you remember from the other side.
So did we notice ourselves coming through, or we just weren't,
yes, so you were forcibly dragged by the silver light. You tried to save with your constitution to not be dragged in, but you were taken and grabbed through this door, and as the silver light faded, you found yourself here.
Are we in a clearing? Is it
Yes. Yeah, it's like a little clearing in an otherwise kind of foresty area, much like the one I'm showing you on Roll20. And in this clearing is this little shrine.
Alright, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do we hear any sounds of animals in the forest, any wildlife?
It is surprisingly silent. It is a very quiet, almost oppressive silence in this kind of crystalline forest. Occasionally, as you listen, you will hear an odd call. Not an animal cry that you have ever heard. It is unfamiliar to you. And it is what will break the silence occasionally. Every now and again, you might hear a rustle or a small tinkling through the kind of crystalline trees some distance off. But for the most part, this forest lies in a stillness almost.
You just see Samba after you see his ears twitch and he's got that look of confusion. He's like, "Where are we?"
It appears we are in the realm of the crystalline... No, not the crystalline lord. The Silver Lord. The crystalline realm of the Silver Lord. This is how it was described in the book that Algernon left for Rose. It has not seen its creator in eons, though. He is bound in carceri.
Oh, well, that's good. I mean, he can't be pissy at me for taking these, and I'm just gonna pull out some of the silver. Is the silver actually silver?
Yes. So, the silver that you managed to put in your pockets is large, oversized silver pieces that are heavy. They are stamped in intricate designs that are unfamiliar to you. This isn't a stamp of a lord or a stamp of sovereignty that you are familiar with. It is almost runic in nature, the designs on it, but they're very pretty and heavy. You would think these weigh on the order of 10 to 15 times what a silver piece that you're familiar with would weigh. They are... yeah, I think that's pretty much the only unique things about it. They, once again, aren't truly silver the way you know about it, right? Everything from this realm seems to be just slightly crystalline or slightly different. The metal, it feels, it has a different texture than silver in your hands. And you just, the closest thing your brain can analog it to is silver, but it's just slightly off. You know it.
Got some sort of like anodized, like crystalline.
Yeah, it just
like,
feels different when you look
it.
at it, when you feel it. Yeah, exactly.
That would actually look super dope.
I mean, I could try putting the coin in the bowl, and then maybe the door will open.
May as well try.
I mean, don't we want to look around first? Like, I'm just like playing with this coin above the bowl.
I have a feeling that when you put the coin in the bowl, it will kind of show up on the painting in front of us. Possibly be teleported back to where you.
What if it only teleports me, though? You may be stuck. Do you want to hold one? And I'll like put my hand in the bag and pull out another one.
Yeah, I'll take the giant coin from you.
Okay, but I want it back. You seekers get paid. I'm not a full seeker yet, remember? And then I like hand you.
All right.
And I trade him a little jewel.
Based. I'm getting jewels for silver. I'll take it. Anyway, are we gonna look around first? I'm kind of excited. Like a kidney, and just in general, a store. Like they don't let me into places. Tendency of knocking things over with my rack. And I'm like slightly depressed again as I touch my head.
I think we might not have a lot of choice. I don't know how to get back from here. It might take some looking around. You said that we came through a portal, right?
Yes. So the archway where the Silver Lord was painted in the mural kind of swung open and engulfed you in the silver light, which you were drawn through before ending up here.
Did we come out a similar looking archway?
No. The mural behind you has the Silver Lord painted in the center, but it doesn't seem to have currently that archway that you saw on the other side.
But there would be space for it, right?
Yes, there's
theoretically.
There's lots of empty space here. The mural that that disappeared as you took things from the other side is blank at this point. Save the single Silver Lord. But in theory, it could be exactly the same.
Do you think Tom is okay?
I think Tom is how we got into this mess.
Also, Tom always seems to get me in trouble and then makes it look like I did it. He's like, oh, don't touch anything in the shrine. Get out of the hole. And then breaks the shrine and look, I'm in the silver plane.
That's a fair point.
So,
Okay, well, let's have a look around.
I don't have access to the same magic that he cast that wrecked the shrine. I can't replicate his method of getting us here to see if it takes us back.
I mean, I wouldn't want to ruin a god's house.
Well, he hasn't been here for quite some time. It's more of an abandoned house, owned by a god in jail.
Also, he's not truly a god. Isn't that what got him in trouble in the first place?
Yes. Technically, in the legends, there's nothing about him which is evil or even threatening. He's just arrogant and vain and offended the gods.
You probably shouldn't talk badly about him in his own home, though.
I just said he wasn't evil.
You just said he's arrogant, though. I whisper.
The gods said that about him.
Oh. Okay, never mind.
The actual gods.
And okay, let's just get going.
Okay, as you say that, where are you going? What is your purpose here as you wander through?
Is there a pathway, or are we in the middle of just?
You're kind of in a clearing. As with any forest, right? There's space on the ground where there is not shrubbery. As you can kind of see in this picture here, there's a little bit of grassland that kind of wanders its way through the forest. As you look around, trying to find pathways, you can spot a number of ways that would be easy to make your way through. Whether or not they qualify as pathways on the ground is questionable. However, through the branches of these crystalline trees, you do see what looks like pathways that shine kind of brightly and ethereally, almost like a road made of rainbows, making their way through the trees. You're not sure if you can step on it or not, but they look like they could be wide enough to walk two abreast upon.
Did we try putting a coin in the basin?
No, you talked about it a lot.
Okay. Gorik will just put like a normal silver piece in one of the basins and see what happens.
Okay. You pull out one of your silver pieces. Which basin do you put it in?
How many basins are
there? Are 8.
Gorik never saw the mural below the altar because he stayed up on the altar the whole time. So I don't know. I'll roll a d8. I mean, I could ask Sambar. I'll put it in the 6th one unless Sambar can remember which one was the silver basin.
I wasn't given them in order.
But you know which one you pulled the silver from.
Yeah. If he goes to put one in, I'm like, the silver one's this one.
Sambar points you to the very first one next to the Silver Lord, which is the one that Sambar first took the silver from. And you place a single silver coin in. And as you do so, you look at the white space above the basin, and a single line kind of slowly etches its way through the stone, and then stops.
Oh dear.
I don't think we have everything to fill the requirements of all of the shrine. I'm just gonna point that out. Because I remember there was some booze and some fancy fruit. By the way, tasted delicious, but then it made me barf up black stuff. Not a good time.
Can you tell me which basins contained what objects?
Most of them. The rest were destroyed before I could have a good gander.
So Sambar knows that the two on either side of the Lord were silver and fruit. The two on either side. The two on either side of those was grain, much like wheat, and a thick, syrupy-looking liquid that he didn't touch or taste. It was amber in color. The one on the other side of the grain is a like deep, dark purple liquid that he seems to be calling booze. And the last one on the other side was full of gemstones.
Silver, fruit, grain, syrup, purple liquid, and gemstones. And then there were 2 that he didn't get to look at.
Correct.
Would you describe those if you were looking at them in a numbered order 1 through 8? Is that the order that they're into?
The first 6. 2 are on either side of the Silver Lord, and then the next 2 are on either side of those. Other side of those.
Okay. I'm just going to write them down in the order that you said that they were, and hopefully that's right. Because I don't have the picture of the mural, so...
I mean, I could barf up again into the fruit bowl. I mean, it was fruit. I haven't eaten anything in a while.
Did anyone take any grapes from the vineyard that we were at?
If you have them on your character sheet.
Oh,
I don't.
I was exploring your great white wonderland. That was America.
No, I don't have any grapes. I can't really carry much.
You can carry some grapes, though. Come on.
Do our rations...
I'm a pound and a half away from being over.
Do our rations include, like, apples or any kind of,
Your rations are mostly packed hard breads and meats, but you would have probably some dried fruits and cheeses.
I was gonna say, are there any raisins in my trail mix?
Yeah,
I'll
you
throw
can
that shit right
you
in there.
can pull out some dried fruits from your rations. Absolutely.
All right.
I could also make a good berry, theoretically, if we rested first, but I could. If dried fruit does work.
I'm standing there while he's like trying to fish out things. I was like, I should have tried the really tacky looking liquid. Probably would have
Yes,
killed
you
him.
should have.
Well, while he's fucking around with the bowl, I want to have a quick look around.
Okay.
Can I break off these crystals that are growing everywhere?
So you walk up and try to get a handful of one of these crystals and break them off. You find that the thicker ones are quite durable, right? The ones that are more than a few inches around, not really easy to break. But you can find some smaller kind of splinters of them. And sure enough, given a little bit of force, more than you probably expected to have to use, but you can break off some smaller splinters, about half an inch or smaller in diameter, and you can snap those and have them in your hand.
Cool. I'm gonna backpack them because I'm gonna make arrowheads out of them.
Sure. How many splinters of crystal do you try to get?
We'll go 10 because they're like long, right? They're just wide.
Okay, you're trying to find 10 about half-inch in diameter longer crystals. All right, you spend a few minutes, and with only 10, you are capable of eventually collecting exactly that amount.
Beast. Crystal, say spears? That sounds right. How heavy are they, though? Are they light?
You were breaking off basically the tips of like small offshoots. Yeah, you were talking about ounces.
Okay, so I'd say 1 pound. There you go. Boom.
Yeah, 10 to a pound. That's very 2-y.
So what are you guys doing? Professor, how do we get out of here?
I'm not sure, other than trying to find ways to acquire all of the items in the bowls. Can we group together what we have and see what we don't have? Does anyone have fruit or grain on them?
We definitely don't have grain, because eating grain is a bad time for you guys. I mean, I got the teeth for it, but you don't got the teeth for it.
Perhaps
But you
Rose
should
can
have
use her
some
magic to create some.
I hear bards can just make fruit.
Help to have a bard then.
So, what's the plan, guys?
We're gonna start putting things in bowls. Let's do it.
All right.
Did you take the gemstones last time? Do we have gemstones?
I was like, I'll just hold up one of these crystals. It's like, I can get some more.
Mm-hmm. That dark purple liquid was not the same as the black ooze we've seen before, right? Like, it was proper purple, not just dark.
No.
Okay.
Do you have any wine while I was zombied out? Did you grab some wine when you were at a vineyard?
No.
If we stay here long enough, perhaps we can create wine out of good berries and
Ferment good berries over the course of months.
I feel like good berries probably don't go bad, right? Probably like wisp out of existence.
Don't good berries only last for like 24 hours and then they...
Yep.
We need to accelerate the fermentation somehow.
Find yeast in the crystal plane. Go.
Well, I mean, Druidcraft might be able to grow some yeast. We could just have Rose start growing all of the plants that we need with Druidcraft. If I can get to level 5, I can create food and water, so I can start making fruits that way too.
We just spend the next
I don't know if there's any
months.
XP to harvest in this land, though. I don't know if Greg's giving us exploration XP. Maybe I can find an obelisk. Greg, is that an obelisk?
No, you do not see an obelisk. Well memed though.
Let's go exploring. I feel like we need to have a look around.
I agree.
The DM has created a map here. I can feel it in my bones. I feel like finding it.
Yeah. I mean, this is probably one of the most fascinating forests I've ever seen because of all the crystals in it. And it's way too quiet here, so I'd love to have a look around anyways, even if we could fill all the bowls right now, I guess.
All right.
I'm a little nervous that when we leave, it'll be difficult for us to find our way back here.
I agree with Genlar. But other than sitting by these bowls and hoping that perhaps Tom finds a way to recover us from the other side, which seems unlikely given his bent for destruction, I think we have no alternative but to press on.
I can always find our way back. I am a wanderer.
I will take out a piece of parchment and write a note for Tom that says where we went, just in case. Just in case he ends up like, oh shit, everyone that I know just got pulled through a portal. Yes, I'd better
tack
follow.
a note to it.
Yeah.
All right. Hey Tom, we're going into the woods. Be back soon.
Yeah.
All right.
Find wine.
Find wine. Tom doesn't need to find wine. I think we've canonically established
He probably
wine.
has it. No, he probably drank it all already. You never know.
All right.
P.S. P.S. Hope you read this before you burn it. Okay, thanks. Bye.
All right. With note posted, the four of you begin to head off into the woods. So you have kind of two choices here. You can head off on the ground floor of the woods, making your way in between these kind of trees, or you can attempt to find the end point of one of these kind of rainbow bridges and see if you can actually walk across them. What is your choice here?
The first thing I do is tell the party,
Stop me if I start doing anything super crazy.
and then I take off my earmuffs to see if there's any change with the earmuffs on versus off.
You do not notice any change. It is still very quiet.
Okay.
And like almost oppressively so.
It doesn't seem like the whispers from the shrine persist into this realm. But perhaps we could continue using them for ranged communication at low volume.
That's smart. Also, I think these look good on me.
I don't know how they'll interact with your antlers when they grow back, but
I can just scooch them back. It's fine. It's fine.
All the cool kids wear their headphones around the back of their heads.
I don't
Right?
think I can do that. Oh, okay, they stay.
Remember when we were in high school and all the headphones you could buy were the behind your head kind?
Behind the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rainbow Bridge, grassland.
So the
That's
Rainbow
my
Bridge
microphone
are
doesn't
pretty.
sit down right for this.
The Rainbow Bridge is it's a crystal bridge and it's rather narrow, you said?
They almost look like light. They're wide they look kind of like shining light through the trees, but they come down to a certain point, and they look like they are wide enough to be two abreast upon them. So fairly decent sized as they wind through like pathways through the tops of the trees.
Listen, I've lost 2 characters on this stream already. I'm not really accelerating this character's journey across the Rainbow Bridge, if that can be
Is this a giant metaphor for killing us? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try something. Zero says, I'll try one of the bridges.
Okay.
I think it should be fine, but just give me a second.
If you see any go-karts, get out of the way very quickly.
I guess I'll try. And
They're log wagons. They're about like yay big. They got little tires. Just stay out of the way.
okay, I'll try to remember.
So,
And I guess the rose on her neck opens and she sneezes. And her giant cloak falls down over her on the ground, and then from underneath her cloak, a giant spider pops up.
Oh, jeez.
It's like a white spider with green, like mossy patches on its legs.
Uh-huh.
And the spider crawls forward and then shoots like a string of web around one of the trees, right? So it sticks to one of the trees and then starts slowly advancing across one of the rainbow bridges. So she's like still attached.
I like the way you mind that. I like the idea of the spider hopping along
Jumping
the
spider.
Exactly.
So, Rose turns into this spider and hookshots some spider silk onto one of the trees and takes a cautious step onto the kind of wave of light as it touches the ground nearby. And on unsteady feet, the spider begins walking its way up this bridge of light. And with each step probably growing more confident as the light seems to hold your feet. And you climb up into the treetops on top of this bridge of light. As you do so, you are probably 10 to 15 feet above the ground, looking down on the plain, and you see that this bridge kind of spreads out throughout the treetops of the forest in front of you. The pathways themselves crisscrossing like roads through the forested tops of trees. In the far distance, you see kind of large, what look like almost buildings rising up out of the treetops themselves.
Wow.
Not touching the ground at all. And yeah, the light of the bridge kind of holds you up there.
I lean down, pick up Rose's cloak, and I'm like, I guess we're following the spider, Rose, and I just throw it over my shoulder and start following her up the bridge. I'm like,
right.
First, I like, you see my hoof like press on the rainbow bridge, and I'm like, it seems good, and then just start doing my little giddy.
All right, with unsteady first steps, the other three of you join Spider Rose on the Bridge of Light and begin traversing your way up the bridge, and you make your way deeper into the forest. As you are walking along, I guess everyone give me perception checks as you make your way through. Let's see what you find.
Oh, my lord. Is it sight, mainly?
Mainly. Okay. As a spider, what other senses do you have?
There's like a keen spider senses. I'm trying to find it. Spider senses perception.
Little hairs on her body that shiver when something's about to smush her.
So I guess that would help if something was like walking around, but I guess it's not working for.
Yeah, I don't think your spider
just seeing
sense
stuff.
works on the Bridge of Light through the trees.
She's got web sense. She could just start enshrouding this forest in webs.
It takes a while though. Probably.
Yeah. I like that every plan that we've come up with is like a long con for this thing. Like, we'll start growing crops and completely blanketing the crystal forest in webs.
All right. So the answer is y'all don't see a whole lot as you make your way through this Bridge of Light. You are on
16. That's not bad.
You are on your own in the deep silence of the wood, walking over the tops of these crystalline woods. Eventually, after multiple hours of kind of just walking through here, choosing crosses in the roads at kind of random, I assume making your way towards the large building in the distance. Not Tom. Jeez Louise. Gormak, you do catch on the...
Not Gormak either.
Goric.
Wait, Gormak is back?
Gormak is back. Yeah, no.
We have crossed the Rainbow Bridge.
You hear on the lower register of your hearing what sounds to be like soft singing to the on the like ground of the forest, somewhere out of sight to the east of you.
We've still got our headphones on, yeah?
You are, yeah.
Okay.
I'll whisper to everyone then. I hear some singing over the muting effect.
Do we want to check it out? I'm kind of excited.
There's
It's the first thing we've heard.
It's the first. Presumably, it is an intelligent creature if it is created song. I don't know what else we could do other than at least check.
I'll lead.
Okay.
We'll head that direction.
You begin taking your way to the east, choosing a crossing bridge of light across the forest. As you begin heading that direction, slowly the rest of you begin hearing the song just at the edge of your hearing, right at the bottom of your register. As you creep your way along the trees closer, you see a large kind of pool of water shimmering in the ground. It appears to be water, but it is icy blue, and it has that same kind of reflective property as the rest of the forest does, almost as if it too is somehow a little bit crystalline in nature, though clearly liquid. And in the pool, you see three like deeply blue-skinned humanoid-looking women, and they are in the pool singing a harmonious tune together, as they are kind of all shrouded in this same kind of crystalline like wooden look of the forest, but it is knitted together in like a kind of like full body shroud as they wade around in the water singing their song. As you approach, you see the three of them look up to you as the song continues from two of them. One of them kind of beckons with her hands at you, as if to say, "Come closer." She speaks, but you can't hear it through the earmuffs.
I whisper through the headphones. I'm like, "Are these mermaids? Don't they eat people? I've never seen the ocean."
No, mermaids don't eat people, but Marrow do. They're the big mean ones.
Okay.
These don't look like mermaids. These look more like the Spriggans of this land, almost.
Ooh, so that's a good thing, and I just like start trotting over.
I just get into the way.
So you're about 15 feet above them, Sambar. When you start trotting over, are you just jumping down from the rainbow bridge of light above the trees?
Rose does get
If he does, I'm gonna shoot a web at him to catch him. I was like, no, I'm just gonna start slowly, like, making a web around him so he can't jump in. I'll just be like, no.
Okay, Spider Rose.
Do they look like Spriggans to me?
No. They look very alien to you. They're not like anything that you've seen before. They're clearly feminine. They're clearly like they have the soft shape of their face. They have the figure of a feminine creature, but they are this deep blue. They have these kind of like ripples along their body that kind of match that of this shimmering gown that they wear. They seem to have 2 arms, and you would assume 2 legs underneath the water there, as they have begun. Two keep singing their song. Another is talking. You see what passes as her mouth talking as they beckon you down, but you still all remain unable to hear them.
I want to use my make minor illusion, and I'm gonna make a me that jumps down and goes up to the pool. I want to see if they react.
Can your minor illusion move?
Yeah, I have a free minor illusion. It's a free action.
I just wonder if minor illusion can act.
I'm not sure.
I thought it could
I think
move.
it's a static image.
Can I make it appear at them then?
I think silent image can move, but I don't think minor illusion can.
Let me take a quick look, because I think that's just a cantrip, and I think it's a little bit
I think it just makes
more
it
than you can do with that.
A weaker boy one. I haven't got to use it yet. Kind of excited to make things appear.
making images of fruit in the bowls, but decided better of it.
Also, you guys haven't seen me do this yet.
No.
Technically, one time we said we did it, but we said we were making like minor illusions of rocks.
You create a sound or
Right.
an image of an object, and it lasts. It doesn't really say that it can't act. It must be no larger than a 5-foot cube.
That's perfect.
Can I make an image of physical interaction? Okay. I think this is fine. So you create an image of yourself. Sambar, what does it look like when you create a minor illusion as your racial feature? Like, how do you do this?
I think it's more like... I feel like it's more of his, like, primitive Fey side. You see him kind of, like, put his hand to his chest and then, like, mutter. And then you'll see it, like, kind of step out of me, right? Like, it's an extension of me. And then he'll, like... And I look at him from behind, because obviously he steps out of me, and I'm like, it's working. And then it'll, like, run, hop down, start walking towards them.
So you see, like, this image of Sambar kind of pull itself out away from him on the bridge, and it hops down slowly to the ground floor and begins to walk its way up to the watery basin where the three women are. The one who is beckoning strides out of the water. You see as she stands up, the water hangs to her and then, like, drips, but it drips almost like a solid would. The crystalline nature of this water makes it more like a solid as it clings to her than a liquid, almost like a plasmoid, and as it falls off of her, she strides forward. You see her with this long kind of like white gown, standing probably 6 feet tall. As she steps forward, she kind of like goes to caress the image of Sambar, like across the head, and as she does so, the image kind of just disappears as she's interacted with the illusion. As the illusion kind of fades, she just looks back up and beckons you once more, your earmuffs shutting out her voice.
I feel like these aren't that intelligent, but at the same time, they're trying to eat me. So I'm not going down there.
I have an idea. Let me check. I think
I'm not about that getting eaten life.
Protection from evil and good. Is it a touch spell? It's a touch spell. I'm gonna touch. Who wants to? I'll just be like, who wants to talk to them?
Pick me! Pick me! Pick me!
As he's dangling like 10 feet. 5 feet off. Anyone else, or just Sambar wants to talk to them?
Anyone else?
I'll talk to them.
I mean, I could haul him up on his little like web rope to. Either of the seekers want to talk to these beings in the plane of.
Poor Sam.
And you just see me like, I'm an initiate. I still technically can't.
All right, young one. If you're that enthusiastic about it, I'll haul him up and I'll cast protection from evil and good on him, which makes him immune to being charmed by aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead.
Okay.
Also, they'd have disadvantage if they try to attack him.
Yes, indeed.
He can't be frightened by them, and he can't be possessed by them.
Yep.
As well.
This is a great time. I like this spell.
So yeah, so I'm gonna be like, I don't like the fact that the other one's words don't come through the headphones, but the song does. Oh. Perhaps they are attempting some magic on it. I can give you some protection, and I cast my spell. Is that a ritual spell? It's not a ritual spell. So
No, it's not a ritual.
I cast that, and then I tell you, take off your headphones, I suppose. See what she has to say.
Okay. I
Or
mean,
earmuffs, I guess.
I really don't like this idea, but at the same time, when in Rome, and I pop them off, I'm like, "Ooh."
so Sambar is like hanging from Rose's silk, like off of the bridge.
Well, I had to haul him back up to touch him.
Okay. You
I was
haul him
just
back
thinking
up.
that.
You touch him. He takes off his earmuffs, and you. Now that the earmuffs are off, the song comes through in like full throat. You're not sure how you didn't hear this like earlier. They're singing like at the top of their voice a beautiful melody that rings out through the forest, kind of echoing off the trees. It is enchanting and enthralling, but you, whether be it from the protection of the spell or the fact that it's not a spell effect itself, you don't feel anything from it. It's in this kind of otherworldly language. It comes across to you almost as like chanting or humming as much as it does singing. It's more about the melody than it is what is being said. And this third woman is beckoning you down from the treetops, saying, "Please come join us, bathe with us."
Oh man,
And
that's never good.
is inviting
No,
you down.
no good woman asks you to bathe with her if you've just met her. Believe me.
It occurs to me. You said we can hear some of the song,
Yes.
right? Is it like Enya-like, just like vocalizations, or are there words?
Hard to say. It's definitely a lot of vocalizations in Enya-like, but there could be words in a language that you don't know.
Okay,
Do
I
they
was gonna
speak
say-
Sylvan? Because I understand Sylvan.
It is not Sylvan.
I speak Celestial.
It is not Celestial.
Okay. I also speak Dwarven, but I think it probably.
Not Dwarven.
Bathe with
That
us.
would be amazing. That'd be so great. We
Yeah.
are the Dwarven women.
Yeah.
Turns out we're blue and have no beards.
Doric would never leave this plane if this is what Dwarven women look like here. Even at 363 years old.
He's like, I'm gonna get me some weird
So
dwarven
Sambar,
women.
what do you do as she beckons you down? Come, join us.
I am going to have my hand on my axe, and I'm going to go and see if she's going to attack me.
Okay. You hop down the Rainbow Bridge. Please make an acrobatics check to not take falling damage from your height.
Can Rose just lower him?
You took
19.
him out of this. He's fine. Sambar's got stats for days. You do a dramatic tumble, strike your superhero pose, and begin walking forward. As you do so, the other two begin to walk out of the water. The strange kind of half liquid, kind of crystalline, dripping and dropping off of them, causing strange ripples throughout it. They stride forward as well. As the first one who is beckoning you places her hand to like kind of caress your head, you see the lines in her body begin to fracture and break and come apart.
I
And
knew
the
this was
two
coming.
halves of her kind of split and come falling apart, revealing inside these worms, these oversized maggots that become wriggling out and flopping onto the ground in front of you. The chittering sound assaults your ears now, loud and shrieking, but you are protected from the charm-like magic of these things. And the two halves of her, kind of as they split apart, revealing these, you can see that the insides of them are open maws with rows of teeth, and they will attempt to latch on and bite you. And I think we will open up this combat on the other side of our break. We will see you guys in about 5 minutes.
See you in 5.